Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Audio check. Can you hear me? Yep, yep. How's the audio going? Good. That's good. All right. All right. Good morning, Adam. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Safe. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Omer. All right. Let's get this party started, and we're gonna start it off with just a brush up of the analysis that we did overnight. So let's take a quick look here. ES. Here you go. All right, so ES is we're seeing a touch up of a retest of channel number two, and we keep hitting those higher levels, 41, 41 quarter, and coming back down. If this continues, we're going to see a push into 40, 77 half, and then target number one, which is 40, 56, which is consistent with the type of behavior that we saw in the past from ES, where they consolidate like this and sell off, producing another leg on the downside. You're seeing that same pattern across the board in a lot of other instruments. Let's take a YM for example. You see the same exact thing is happening here, happened earlier on in March, and happened earlier in January, late January as well. So that's the expectation. They keep testing channel number two and pushing lower to target number one. Target number one is going to be 32,358. And let's move on to the next one, and that would be NASDAQ. NASDAQ, look at NASDAQ. The same thing right here as you seen right here, and you saw right here, and you saw right here in January. So we're expecting a push lower, but we're ready for the market to also consolidate. And ultimately, what would be the surprise trade that will surprise most people if actually this market reverses and shoots up and break the channel and break 12,952 and a quarter, and that will apply to all the rest of the instruments as well. Okay. So I think the market is more prone for sell-off here than an actual breakout and a rally. But if it does happen, we are ready for it, and we will see the early signs of it happening. Gold, gold, the same thing is happening. A lot more consolidation in gold than in other instruments, and you're seeing it very tight and trading in and around Globex while producing lower highs consistent with channel number two. And unless we break 1873, really nothing uh, worth mentioning when it comes to a rally. This market is going to be under pressure to target number two, which is 1826. Let's move on. I don't know what else did we. Crude oil. Here we go. Here you go. So they hit that high and they hit that target number two. They opened up lower, some profit taking. And again, in that instrument, we're looking for a pullback down to the 116 in order for us to explore a potential entry point um, on the long side. Why 16? Because that will come into the transitional zone, and we've seen in this upward momentum how powerful those transitional zones are. They keep coming into to that zone, flush everybody and reverse. And whenever you see this, that tells you the strength of that uh, trend that we're seeing. So you could see it coming in here to one, two, three, four, five, six, boom. Here, seven came out, boom. And obviously, it pushed through that rotation, came back into it again here for a small bounce. I mean, we're digging into the body of the cloud at this point. So the minute it goes under it and closes, that affects our read of it. But you could see how strong that rotation is. So that's kind of what we're looking for in crude oil. Okay, let's see here. All right, now on the 200 NT Rinko in NQ, we are seeing that they broke the channel number two of this rotation. They put a captain setup long here, ran it up, sold it off. They put channel number two at the end of the day and rallied up, and now they broke it. So that tells me that this is the next leg of this rotation lower is happening. As long as we continue to trade under 12,625 and obviously the 12,700, which will retest the breakdown of this channel, we should be seeing more pressure on the downside into 12,500. So I'm going to, as long as the 200 and the 100 are in sync, I can keep talking about, going short. But the minute it flips, then I just have to kind of, take a pause and look for counter trends in that direction at that point. So right now 200 and 100 are in sync, and you can see here what they've done overnight is they put a captain setup long and ran it up significantly, put another one here, and they failed it into the lower prices. So that tells me that this structure from the 720 all the way to the 580 is a place where the price is trying to resolve itself away from. Okay, and they're doing that right now by resolving it lower. Okay, and the 200 and the 100 are in sync on the short side right now. So at the open, which is in 2 minutes, we're looking for the shorts and see how far they're going to extend this price action. Now, my effective time is initially to watch the first 15 minutes, half an hour of the day, and just get a feel for what the market is all about, and then just basically go from there into picking trades. Okay, so let's get this party started. Let's get going. Let's make some money, and good luck, everybody. Okay. Good morning, Randolph. How are you, buddy? So on the streaming part, I'm gonna keep. I don't know why I didn't do that. Give me a second. Uh, the video is gonna be off for today and tomorrow. I'm working on my office, so we're not gonna have a video feed of me in the room, but the feed for the trading will continue. Captain set up switch trade. That's a good thing to see here, and we're starting to get active in the morning here. Good morning, Noli. How are you? All right, so here we go. Some selling pressure, continuation of selling pressure. They put a captain setup right here, and another one on the 50 NT Rinko. Actually, you could see it right here. All right, one here and one here. And after an extension to target number three, it's unusual for them to kind of do this, but yeah, I saw that safe. That's what I'm talking about right here. And that's the six prong captain setup again with another captain setup. So here we go. They're trying to trap these people here. Here we go. If we break above 563, that would tell me that here we go. So that means the market is out of sync this morning between the longs and the shorts, and couple of scenarios need to happen. Scenario number one, market needs to break down to 525 in order for the shorts to continue. They can rally. Scenario number two, they can rally it up all the way close to 600 and fail it with a one candle reversal, and that will still be a short signal. Or they can trade it above 12,600, and at that point, we are, the market is in sync on the long side. Counter trends can happen, and a run up to 650 can produce, uh, signals to the upside. So those are the three scenarios and the three levels in which we are looking at. And here you go. Scenario number one is the one that worked. And let's see, rallies back up are shortable against that 565. You have a new transitional zone is building up, and we're expecting more push to the downside toward 12,500. Yeah, but again, I'm gonna be an observer in the market early on in the morning, and just I'm going to gather some information and get a feel for what the price is doing. Good morning. Good morning. Look at that mess. Here we go. I mean, be honest with you, that is a buy signal right here. Captain set up long at 562. That is a captain setup. So no signal produced up here. Ran up to the middle of the range, and we would be looking for another transitional zone to build up, and the market completely reversed. So that tells me that at 562, we have a captain set up long, and we're going to probably push a little bit higher here and see if we can get to 12,600. I know I saw that safe. That's quick. That was quick. Here comes 600. I mean, and they got there quick. They're trying to suck me into the market this morning. That's what they're trying to do. And I kind of I made a decision. All right, you guys in the room, can you see me? Can you see the screen? Yeah, here we go. AMR. I'm assuming you're short, right? Yep. Because that's down like 4%. Okay. All right. So the market is disconnected between the 200 and the 100, but you have this captain set up long that the market just produced fairly quickly. And we need to just kind of figure out who's getting trapped here. All right, so today is the 9th and we have no trades done. So we're starting flat, no overnight trades. And we're all going to be starting, at least me, I'm starting from that point. All right, sorry about that, guys. I keep muting myself on the room. All right, so we saw that captain set up right here that ran up the price. We saw an attempt at 12,600 and the price kind of stopped and faded. And we just have to kind of be patient and watch and wait and see a couple of things. One of them, if the price comes back down to 550, which we're seeing kind of dramatic price movement back and forth. If we see that, that means the market is in sync on the short side again. I'm going to be patient into the open here and just give the market a little bit of time and let it figure out its footing. So what would be a signal to go short if we disconnect this transitional zone, come back up, and then produce another transitional zone in ES? We're looking at ES and we're seeing that they built a transitional zone right here. They're coming back to retest it. And one candle reversal here will be an inception trade short to target 1 and 2 at that point. Okay, so you're getting the disconnect that we're talking about, and we need to get back in sync. Here we go. All right, so that's it right here. So 550. Let's see if we can get another run up, but we should be seeing a push lower here. Yep, here it comes, and we may be testing that low again at 520. Here you go. Another good transitional zone in ES. All right, all right. So yeah, on that captain setup switch, I'm trying not to trade that first half an hour safe. I'm just trying to be patient during this first half an hour and let the market kind of do what it wants to do. Yeah, like look right now. So the market is disconnecting again. So they look at that. They flushed it, retested this captain setup, and they ran it up. So that is a trapping behavior that we're seeing right now. Good morning, Martin. How are you? So if we break, I mean, see, this is the second time we come up to, I mean, they came in within like a tick or two of closing that candle, and then they faded it all the way down. Now they're making another attempt at it. So they're trying, and this is just really a kind of a significant way of how they dropped it all the way to the close and came back and rallied all the way back up. So if we break above 600, they may suck me in. I mean, I'm gonna start going. Let's see here. Here you go. Yeah, this is gonna go right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So that trade, it was a switch trade right at the inception of the what you call it, transitional zone. And yeah, I got a little bit earlier, but it was just kind of quite obvious they're gonna break through it. So I took that one for whatever the heck it is. Let me know. Let me see here. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. There you go. They're going all the way up there. So we made $1,200 off of that trade. So what I'm doing today is I'm gonna try to. It's not I'm gonna try to, but what I'm gonna be doing. Look at this. Boom. Give me a second here. All right. All right, guys. So here you go. I mean, that's just a retest. Couple of things are happening. So we got that push. We took we took a, I guess, a scalp out of this thing. This thing was really offering a whole lot more, but I'm okay with that scalp uh, to start us off for the day. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, and now we are coming up to uh, retesting of this channel, right? And we're trading around Globex. So once we trade around Globex, guess what we're going to see? We're going to see this sideward consolidation, the pauses, the disconnects, all that good stuff. So that's not an area I want to be too hyperactive trading. Now, two things got to happen here. If the market get back in sync, which would be 55, the longs can take more control and push the price a little bit higher to the 80s and potentially the 700s. If we fail this structure and the market decide that it wants to flush everybody that got long, they would have to do it at 574. So if they get back in sync, I'm not going to participate. I'm going to leave the market to run up if that's what it wants to do. But if they come back down and sell it off at 575, then I'm going to start getting short uh, heavy at that point. So we took on a trade, successful one, from here to there, um, right at the open. Let me see here. Yeah, and here you go, another one. All right. So right now, right this moment, the market is in sync. I mean, out of sync between the 200 and the 100, right? And it's retesting that channel. I mean, it's almost to the tick. What I'm gonna try to, again, I keep saying I'm trying, but what I want to do today is to avoid taking the swing um, trades, meaning right when the candle flip, I take the range trade. Recently, those have acquired a bit more drawdown than than usual because of the consolidation we are in. So I'm gonna try to just go through and take the transitional zone trades once they happen right here. That's the kind of trade I'm gonna be taking today. And those are great at generating income, and they're very well measured when it comes to the actual risk of that trade. Huh, that's a good one. So if I ask myself a question, okay, well, what would have kept me in this trade longer? I would have said, all right, just stay with this transitional zone till it completely reverse and couple of spots either right under the transitional zone or right under the middle of the range, which you'll give it a little bit more room for a stop. But those are the two spots that would keep me in this trade a little bit longer. So they're doing the chicken dance around Globex, and we know how wonderful that is when it comes to trading. You're seeing them pushing. You're seeing them putting transitional zones. They're putting switch trades right at the inception of these transitional zones. This is behavior that is short, but it's they're playing around glowbacks right now, and the market is disconnected, and it will reconnect on the short side if we hit that 575. Let's mark that 575, which is very close to target number three. Oh, that thing is down like 6%. AMR. Wow. Are you still holding on to it, GM? Yeah, nice one. Nice one. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's look at that. Now I'm looking to aggressively start going short, and I need a new transitional zone to produce. So maybe a rally back up, consolidation, then a new transitional zone, and we'll start going in and getting busy on that side of the market. I mean, I can just do one, one, one. Let's just do one here, and then go to 5 contracts on that. Here we go. All right, let's see. Nice little push in ES too. So you're seeing the same thing. Wow, look at that. ES is just like dumping. So where is our target in NQ? 75. It's 50. 50, and if it gets there, then that's not going to leave me much room to jump in. I need to see a bigger rally at that point before I join in. Yeah, we're getting very close to that close. Hopefully we'll see a punch higher. If it goes higher, that's fine. I mean, I have 254. Well, that's actually a bigger stop than I like, but here we go. Here we go. I need to see that 50 come up. Yeah, this is gonna run up a little bit here. That's fine. What I want to see is a new transitional zone so I could put more size. That's fine. That's fine. 92. You gotta be kidding me, huh? All right. So that would be the 50. Yeah, 50, 53. Okay. All right. My stop is a complete reversal of the candle. We kind of decided not to try to take these swing trades, and I find myself in one again. Okay. I know my stop. And if the stop happens, it's going to happen. Here comes Globex. 605. Okay, 605. I know, man. It's just it's so swing trades. You get a run up, you go into it, and you're looking for the continuation trade, and typically you'll see a follow through of 25 to 30 points, and they're making it a lot harder lately of trying to capture that. We'll see. I mean, ultimately, I want to see a punch to 88. I mean, I don't like to go against the market being in sync. I mean, ultimately, my goal is 550, which will be a huge trade for me. But if they break the 600 and they start going into the 90s and ultimately go into the 84, 88, 88 is where we need to see the price. Jesus. All right, thank you. And let's move on. So they completed and reversed the whole candle off of that rotation. So now the 200 and the 100 are in sync on the long side, and let's see how far they want to take it higher from here. Yeah, GM, it's not that weak because NQ just keeps doing the dance here. So what's next? What's next is pullbacks, and I'm gonna just stick to transitional zone trades, so we could manage the risk for tighter than what we're doing here. These swing trade stops always gonna be bigger than a transitional zone stop. Just keep working. Yes, I was. I got short and got stopped. Correct. So they're retesting this channel one more time. Let's see how far they're gonna go. I mean, whenever you're trading in and around Globex, you're gonna get a lot of this type of noise. And what we're trying to capture this type of behavior where you are short at 49 or close to it, and you're going basically 150 points deep into a move. That's what we're trying to capture. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look. All right. So they're walking it down here a little bit. Let's see what they want to do. Ultimately, you got 620, 625 and a quarter. If they break below that, which is Globax, they're going to disconnect the market right now. And we'll see what they want to do. Two things got to happen. Either they break above 662 and that will reestablish the longs. They could bring it back down to 600, bounce it right back, and that will be also a long signal. Or they take that candle and ram it into people again all the way down to 575, and that would be a captain setup short. Okay, and then I will get heavy short if that happens. And we could go from there. So I'm gonna let the market do its thing. It's consolidating around Globax. So one of these scenarios is gonna ultimately happen here. Yeah, yeah. Sheila, no conviction here. Nope. But if they break below level again here at 574, I mean, I'm gonna go short and strong. It's just the bottom line here. Because that would be a captain setup short, and I should be expecting a follow through off that setup, and I could go back as far as you want to see, and I'll show you all these captain setups and what happens right after them. It's a big move, and that will be a swing trade. I mean, if I see those, I gotta get active. Well, huh? Okay, that's fine. That is fine. That's fine. Let them bring it back down to that level at 74, and we're gonna talk. We are gonna talk. We are gonna get busy. I'm gonna get short. I'm gonna get short aggressively, and I'm gonna get short in a range, and I'm gonna take some risk. And my risk is gonna be all the way up to that 74, and it's either I'm gonna make great deal of money or I'm gonna lose some money. Plain and simple. When I see stuff like this happen, when I see a captain set up short on the 200 NT Rinko, the follow through should be in the 50s and a breakdown to 500. And I want to see if I can capitalize on that type of movement. but the market got to get there, and it needs to get to that 74. And that's how that one is done. And it has more potential for a bigger move too, and I know it. But that's to target number 4 and target number 5. Hey, two contracts safe is two contracts. That's still money right there. So now the job is to start looking in to for the market to disconnect, which is about to do that. Well, I mean, it's doing it right now here, and having a reconnect back in, and we'll jump back in. 574. Oh, so your question, Adenine. Okay, so it's 574 because that will complete an actual signal, and that signal is a captain setup short. A captain setup short is this right here. So that is at 574. The minute the market came in and closed it, then rallies back up or shortable against that level at 652, and you're looking for multiple candles in that rotation all the way down to 500 and lower to potentially target number 2. So the why that price is because we're waiting on the price to come in, because that will complete the signal. So give you another example here. Long 12,705 and a half. So the market closed below it, closed at it, closed below it, and closed at it. So when it does that 4 times, a minimum of 4 times, that completes that rotation and that completes that signal. And then we start working in that direction. We did pretty good on the exit as well. I mean, I took the 55.50 and I took that sell off below 550. Now it's a function of trying to get involved into another rotation if they allow us to, and it's 575. If we go back to that level, that will disconnect the market, meaning I'm looking for the market to get back to the lows in order for me to get short, or they can rally it back up to the 600 and then fail, and that will still keep me in the rotation. Does it make sense to you, Adenine? I have a class that I kind of teach on that one. I'll give you my email address and you can send me an email and I will send you that class. So this way you could. So that trade on 15 contracts made us 9,600 and we're up 4,300 for the day. Took that stop on that early on. We had a good trade early on, and now that trade kind of just made us whole and plus some money. Let's keep working. Thank you, Brian. Well, the good guys always win, right? It didn't come without a little bit of stress. Be honest with you. I mean, I just had to kind of get I had to get quiet. I had to really quiet. I haven't said a word during that trade. I just sat there and just had to work through it mentally and just understand the levels and understand what the price is doing and just breathe through it and let it happen. All right. How is everybody else doing? Kirk, good morning. Martin, Mike, San, Alex, how we're doing, buddy? Uh, Omer, you said you took couple of switch trades along the way. How did we do on that one? Safe. How much money did you make on that one actually? Because I want to see how long did you hold on to it? Because it Sandy's good, okay. Alex is good. Kirk, Martin, Mike, how we doing, guys? 5 points on okay, 5 points on every trade for three trades and 1 10 pointer. Okay, that's good. That's good. Mike is good. Deal. All right. Let's keep working. If you get yeah, thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. We're just gonna keep working here. I mean, the key to a lot of this is not to get discouraged. I mean, they rolled me over in that little kind of messy price action. Okay. And I understood that I'm taking a bigger risk. And there was a lot of places where I could have just flatted the trade. But, in my head, I was like, listen, if I'm going to go and make, if I'm ever going to make 20, 30 grand in a day, or you got to take some risk. And it has to be a prudent risk. It can't be just crazy price action and just anywhere. And it has to be prudent. It has to make sense why I'm getting out, but I have to give the market a little bit of room, and I have to trade it in a way where I can capture a range and short in a range and cover in a range. And that's how you end up making big money. Even if you are starting off, are you trying to do, like even micro, it's the same concept. It doesn't matter. Okay. So that's just one style of a trade. Then there's the other style of a trade is just literally these transitional zones. And those transitional zones are very helpful in keeping my risk very low. Because I know if I lose the transitional zone right after I entered here, that tells me that I need to be out. So I could be out maybe 10, 15 points maximum on the risk of entering exactly right here. And then you follow the transitional zone all the way up. So for the people who are starting off, this is the only kind of trading you got to do, because that is, you have a small account, you're trying to build it, and you're trying to, manage and limit your exposure and your risk. And this does a great job doing it. You build up your account to where you can have extra capital that you could allocate for risk. Then, trading in a range within 30, 40 points is an option for you at that point. Those points are, I programmed those, and they are volatility targets. They have nothing to do with Rinko or pivots. It has their own logic that I kind of came up with, and they're factoring volume and volatility, and you could see they're not the same distance all the time. Like sometimes they're very narrow, about 10, 15 points, and when the market is volatile, they expand to 30, 40 points between entry and target. So depending on what type of volatility the market is experiencing, these targets will change to reflect that volatility and volume. Because if you try to match them to like S1, S2, S3, and they're not going to look, they're not ATR either. I mean similar, but not exactly. They're dynamic. They're very dynamic. They literally, as this current rotation happens, and as it goes back and it measure volatility and volume across the day, and then it calculates what the targeting system should reflect according to that volatility that we have, and it changes all the time. So if the market contracts and start rotating very tightly, all of a sudden you see these targets and stops compress, and they will tighten up. And if the market expands, it expands with them. All right, Brian. I'm talking to the other Brian now, not Stone. I'm glad all worked out and you are 100% and up and going. Brian just joined us recently, and he just got his system all installed. Thank you, Gary. And if you have any questions, let me know, Brian, and we will take care of you. All right. So we're seeing the market out of sync. We're seeing the 200 and the 100 disconnected at that 75 run up. And we need to see the price come back down to 538 in order for us to get engaged again on the short side. And we definitely need to see this cloud shift from positive to negative, and a new transitional zone to build up. Thank you, GM. I appreciate you for saying that. I do enjoy it. I really enjoy it when we're trading as a group, because it keeps me on my toes. Be honest with you. You are Brian, Brian Stone. Where you at right now? I'm gonna go to Mexico in a couple of, like, in a month and a half. I'm gonna go sail fishing. You're saying you're bluefin fishing? That's cool, man. All right. All right. So let's refocus and let's get busy and let's look for the next signal. A adenine. Adenine. I hope I'm saying your name correctly here, but yeah, I know who you are, so I saw your email. You're good, man. I'll send you that class a little bit later, though, once the trading is slowing down. So we're seeing that the integrity of this captain setup that we're seeing here is holding up. I mean, yeah, we're seeing a little bit of disconnect here. They're trying to build it up. They're trying to see if they can reverse it, but the highs are struggling to break out into the whole number. Yeah. And what time is it right now? 10:29. Yeah, here we go. We have a little bit of time. So when we're talking about the big picture, and in the indices and gold, that's the big move right here that gold just made. You're seeing that they pushed away from Globax at 1855 into the current price, and that is a reversal. That type of behavior can definitely lead us to pushing to target number two, which is 1826.2. And we've been talking about that in our market analysis. And you could see the market analysis in on YouTube. So, and I send it to you guys also via email. Yeah, I see the 50 NT Rinko Captain setup. There's more legs to this thing on the downside for sure. Okay, so that YM, uh, same thing like NQ, hit that channel number two and pushed lower. So any break below this level, we're going to speed up 32,602. You break below that level, target number one is going to be within stone throw at 32,358. And let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil, they're bouncing it back. There's a lot of bid coming in. Um, they hit target number two out of the sequence, which is 123.01, and that happened yesterday. And it's nothing for me to do here. I need a bigger pullback into this transitional zone, and we talked about that. So let's move on to ES, and ES is the same thing here. A lot of people look at this and say this is a bull flag, but I think this bull flag is gonna sell off here. And any drop below 40.77, you're looking at target number one, which is 40.56. And then a break below that, you're gonna get a continuation structure right here into this price action. So we'll see what this market is all about. I mean, obviously the shorts are in charge today, and we have a structure on NASDAQ that can carry on for an extended period of time and for an extended range. And any break below 12,500, you're going to get a whole lot of speed and momentum uh, to this rotation that started off with Captain setup short. If I can give another. Yeah, what is that AMR anyway? Let's see here. Yeah, that's a nice one here. You're not gonna hold on to it for a couple more days, or just cover it right now? Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. So what we're seeing in ES here is this type of rotation, and it's a consolidated rotation. I mean, they're trying to build up stops for the next rotation. You had a captain set up short, pushed, came back and retested it. They put another captain set up short with a switch trade, pushed it down, and now they're consolidating in the middle of the range. And target number one is 40.86. Target number two is 80.81. And you need another transitional zone right here. So what that means, if we start breaking below 88, that then run back up and reverse, that would be a structure that I will start looking into um, as a short into lower prices and a continuation of this selling pressure. If we start breaking anything above 96, kind of nullifies that rotation, and we have to gather more information out of this market. In NQ, I'm waiting for the market to get back in sync one way or another. Oh, I see what you're saying, GM. Yeah, you don't want that decay. It comes fast. So we're seeing that in the ES, they did not build up another transitional zone and they just popped it back up to retest this captain setup right here. So ultimately, it needs to get out of this consolidation and protect the 96 and the 98 and then show us another transitional zone lower. Um, Anything short of that, I'm not engaged. Uh, NQ, both are the 200 and the 100 out of sync, and the market just playing around in this range. Nothing for me to do. I'm waiting for a couple of scenarios. One of them is, all right, here we go. So one of them is gone. The second scenario is they're running up short of 626 and then reversing with a one candle reversal. If that happens, that is a continuation short, and I'll start taking signals that are generated on the 20 NTU Rinko at that time. If the market decides to go to 625 and close, well, guess what? That's Globex. And if they do that, it may trigger a push toward that 50 and the break of that high that we had here, which means they're going to break this captain setup structure. That's a tall order, but everything is possible, and I will watch out for that. If they get to 626, I'm not going to go long. I simply will not go long there. There's so much overhead resistance and consolidation patterns around Globex and around that captain setup that I'm not going to participate in. But if we end up breaking this high at 673, then I'll play. So far, this has produced only one and a half candles in that direction. It's a bit odd because typically you see multiple candles happening in a rotation like this. Especially, it's a captain setup on the 200 into Rinko and an inception trade. There's a whole lot of things going on here. So I'm definitely going to be more inclined to go short than long, but I got to wait and see what the market tells me. I mean, look at that. I mean, good Lord. That's a big push on ES2. I mean, that's what they ended up doing. They put on transitional zone and a switch trade right here and pushed. Could not hold on to 96, and they almost moved 10 points. Right, so what we got going on here is the market just shifted again. So the shorts are coming back in, and we're looking for an entry point on the short side. Let's just keep going here. So they put a switch trade right here, and they closed 75. Yeah, they closed the 100 into wrinkle. So now the 100 and the 200 are in sync, and the market is ready for this wave of selling pressure that's coming in. I want to get short. I want to get short on a signal though. A dollar strong. I get it. Good morning, Freeman. How are you? Yeah, nice bounce into the 103, up a fraction of a percent. We need to get short. We need to get short. We need to get short. Yeah, you need a big move, GM, for that thing to start moving. If we crash and burn today, which looks like very very possible here, that we will you will get VIX to start moving in a meaningful way to the upside. You just need you need, I hate to say it, but you need fear in the market for VIX to come back to life. All right, so we want to see how they're going to push up here and then reestablish another transitional zone, and they'll start coming in and getting short. They're still pushing up here. Let's see what we're doing. Yeah, good luck on that one, GM. So now the market is back into this mode of out of sync with that run up. It ran up a little bit heavier than what we need them to do, but that tells me that there's not a lot of momentum happening right now. So for momentum to pick up, we're back to the scenario. Scenario number one is market needs to break 537. Scenario number two, we run up, uh, to the 600 or so and fail with a one candle reversal short. That will get us back in sync on the short side, like exactly like what happened earlier here. And or scenario number three, which is a run up to 626, which is a bit tough to see how they can do that, but they can, and that's a possibility. But if they do that, then I really wouldn't go long. I will wait for a run up past 675 to get long in that rotation. So that's basically the structure of the market as we see it right now. And it's 11 o'clock, and we are ending the day at a positive 43.47. And the big trade of the day was a 10 grand trade that we ended up getting short. Let me just take a picture of that. That's short here, short there, short here. Okay, and then covered here, here, and there. And that's that. Yeah, it is consolidating off the low, but I gotta stick to what we do here, which is really uh, we have those three scenarios. One of them is gonna happen, and we have an action plan. Excuse me, an action plan for every scenario that they can present us with. And that's it for me for the day, for the morning at least. And I'm gonna just take a break, go get some food, relax, and then that last hour of the day, yesterday I uh, turned back on the room, the live room, and uh, also the Zoom room for our members. I turned it on around 1:40 Central, so basically an hour and 20 minutes before the close. So if I see enough action going on today, I'll turn it back on. For the members in the room, I'll send you a reminder email saying, "Hey, listen, the room is back open if you're interested in watching that session," and go from there. Majority of the time, I don't try not to trade that last hour, but if things are happening, I'll open it right back up. Okay, guys, that's it for me. If you have any questions, let me know. And you guys have a blessed day. And we will do this again tomorrow.